everyone, welcome to Cancer Healing Journey Talks. Myself Sonali Modi from Community Outreach Team of zenonco.io and Love Heals Cancer. Cancer Healing Journey Talks help cancer survivors and caregivers to share their story with vast number of caregivers and survivors who have traveled or been traveling through this journey. It can also motivate and inspire them for their faster recovery. So firstly, I would like to introduce you to today's speaker, Miss Lina Latini. She's a cancer survivor. I'm happy that you're here with us today to share your story. So over to you, Lina. Please start with your introduction.
Hi, my name is Lina. I'm actually not a cancer survivor. I am a caregiver, or was a caregiver to my father who passed away from pancreatic cancer. I live in the United States and have been through this unfortunate journey that so many people are on. So I'm just excited to be here and share my story.
Yes. So what was the cancer type of your father and at what stage was it diagnosed?
He had pancreatic cancer. It was diagnosed in stage 2, which is pretty much unheard of for that type of cancer. And that was in February of 2019, right before the pandemic really started, at least in the United States. So that was also another thing we had to deal with on top of the cancer diagnosis as well.
So what were the symptoms that your father got in the early stage and how it got diagnosed?
Yeah, he was having a lot of back pain, which again, for that stage of pancreatic cancer usually doesn't happen. He had been asking me, I'm a physical therapist, and he was asking me for, some exercises because this pain was just all the time. He couldn't sleep. It was mostly at night, and it was when he was resting. If he was active, his pain wasn't there. So I gave him some exercises, nothing really seemed to help. And I said, I don't think this is a back issue. There's something more going on. Let's get some doctor's opinions, get some CT scans. And that's kind of how it all started.
Yes. So what was the first reaction when you all got to know that your father is diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and how your family took that news?
It was really hard. We cried a lot. We were sad. We were shocked. My dad was a very healthy man. He didn't smoke. He didn't drink ever in his life. He ate pretty well. He was fairly active. So it was definitely a huge shock. It just kind of came out of nowhere. And then it was kind of, at first that panic and that shock. And then afterwards it was like, okay, we're in this together. Like, let's do this. Let's beat this thing.
Okay. So what treatment you underwent?
Initially, he had surgery, or he had chemo for 6 months every other week, and then for 48 hours. And then he had surgery 6 months later.
Okay. And did he try any alternative treatment?
He did not at first. After his surgery, the cancer was gone. It went away. They said that everything was fine. This past March, he had a scan. So from October when he had the surgery to March of 2021, he had what he was cancer free, but he was using things like just supplementing. I don't know exactly what he was using, but a lot of vitamins, things like that. And afterwards, in March, he had a clear scan. And 2 months later, in May, the cancer had come back in his liver. And after that, it kind of went downhill pretty quickly, and he died in September.
Okay. And as a caregiver, how did you manage your emotional well-being during those times?
It was really, really difficult. The last couple of months, watching him decline so quickly, going from who he was, active and happy and positive, to just pretty depressed, and his mental state going down, which affected my emotions and my mental health as well. So I talked to a therapist. I did a lot of meditation. I still do these things because it doesn't just go away. But in the moment, a lot of meditation and taking care of my own mental health by watching what I was eating, exercising, and just doing things that made me happy so that I can get my mind off of everything else once I wasn't, with him during the day.
So, how was the experience with the doctors and other medical staff during his treatment?
Our experience, his team was absolutely incredible. Um, they went above and beyond to do everything for us and to help us as caregivers, and my dad, obviously, as the patient, to really be as comfortable as possible during the process. They were incredible. And we live in one of the biggest healthcare hubs in the United States. So lucky in that aspect that we had a really great medical team to take care of him and prolong his life for those 2.5 years rather than, or that year and a half, sorry, not 2.5, that year and a half, because it could have ended a lot quicker. So.
Yes. So, what were the things that helped you and made you happy on your journey as a caregiver?
Again, just taking care of myself, practicing a lot of gratitude, like deep gratitude, being able to really recognize that, yes, the situation isn't ideal. However, we are lucky that we knew so early on and could have the time that we had. And once, things started declining and it had progressed to pretty much all of his abdominal organs, just being able to have the gratitude that we had time with him to say what we wanted to say, to really spend those last weeks and months with him. Just practicing gratitude is number one, especially in the situation, and staying positive is absolutely key. Your mindset is number one in dealing with any kind of situation, especially like this, whether you're the patient or the caregiver.
So, did you made any lifestyle changes while your father was doing her treatment?
I did not. I just continued with what I do usually, which was exercising and taking care of myself first so that I could show up for him. So exercise, eating well. I take a lot of different supplements for my own health just to stay healthy. Meditation, really getting into my spiritual practice, journaling, that kind of thing to help me stay at my best so that I can help support him.
Yes. There are times when you feel that it's too much to handle, but you still don't give up. So, what was the one thing that motivated you and kept you going on such days?
My biggest motivator was having him see me continue my life. And, my husband and I were planning our wedding at the time, and just continuing things as normal, I think really helped keep him more lucid and cognitively here for a longer period of time.
Hmm. And as a caregiver, do you think that while your father was going through his treatment of cancer, so has it changed you in a positive way?
Absolutely. It has. As difficult as the situation is, having the experience, the very unfortunate experience, I think has made me a lot more compassionate towards people, a lot more patient and understanding, especially in today's world where, there's so much negativity and there's a global pandemic still happening, and at least in the United States there's a lot of other weird stuff happening, so people are more angry and anxious, and I've just really learned how to be more compassionate, more patient, and more generous with other people.
Yes. So, what life lessons you got from your father's cancer journey?
Oh man, there's so many there. But I would say the biggest thing is just appreciating every moment, being completely present in where we are, because yesterday we can't get back and tomorrow is never promised. It's never guaranteed. And even if if you do have a tomorrow, then you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. Maybe it'll bring you the diagnosis. Maybe it'll bring you an injury or something that's really life altering for you. So we can't change what's coming, and we can't change what happened. So we have to really just be present in this moment, practice gratitude, practice the presence, practice just being with the people who mattered to you, and really enjoying every second of your life, because you don't know when it will be taken from you.
Yes. So have you ever asked yourself this question when your father got cancer, that why he has got this cancer and why only he? And if yes, then how you dealt with this thought?
Yeah, at first I did. I was really angry. I said, why him? Why my family? Why this? Why that? And I pitied myself. I pitied my family for a long time. I pitied the situation. I was really angry with the situation. But at the end of the day, I did a lot of meditation and I did a lot of journaling, and I realized that we can't change the situation, and being angry about it and questioning why it happened to us and to my dad and to my family, it's not going to change anything. So the best thing that we can do in this situation is to be there as a family together, stay strong, stay positive, and keep him going, because the chemo and the surgery and even the initial treatments were really difficult. And for him, his mental state, us being able to take care of ourselves, helped him take care of himself in the process as well.
Yes. So how is your life today after your father means? Sorry to hear that your father is no more, but how is your life at present?
It's difficult. It hasn't even, I mean, it'll be 40 days on Thursday that he passed. So it's
Hmm.
still very recent. Um, and adjusting is very strange. It comes in waves. There are good times, there are bad times. There's times when you hear a song and it makes you laugh, and then there's times where you hear a song and it makes you cry. You think of a
Hmm.
memory, you want to call them on your way home from work and tell them this really cool thing that happened or whatever it is. The adjustment is very, very hard, very difficult. And having that support system, my husband, my mom, my brother, everyone together, is a lot easier. But it's still really difficult, and it still hurts. There's, like I said, days when you cry, days when you laugh, but overall there's it's sad, but it's also calming knowing that he's at peace, he's not suffering anymore, especially in the last couple of months, watching him just really suffer and decline, and just knowing that, he didn't want to be here in that form. He just wanted to go. So it's emotionally difficult for me, but also very calming knowing that he's finally at peace and not struggling anymore.
Yes. So what would be a message to other caregivers and survivors?
Yeah, I mean, just keep your hope alive. Keep your hope alive, keep your mindset positive, and like I said, practice gratitude. Practice gratitude for the time you have together, for surviving. Practice gratitude for everything in your life, because you never know when it can be taken away.
Yes. So it is said that art or any creative thing, it works as healing. So while you were in supporting your father as a caregiver during his journey, so have you tried any such creative work to motivate you or keep you going?
Yeah, I am actually a host of a podcast. So for me, that's my creative outlet. That's my form of artwork. So sharing the journey with my audience as it happened and the lessons I was learning in the process was
Hmm.
really, really a great outlet for me. And really helpful. I love to paint and color. So I bought a bunch of coloring books and did a lot of that kind of thing to just ease my mind. But I think what was most helpful is talking about it as it was happening and sharing it with other people, because I know it can help so many others.
Hmm. So while your father was going through his treatment, there might be certain side effects. So how did he overcome the fear of those side effects or treatment?
How did he overcome them?
Yes.
I I
Hmm.
don't think he really had much fear. He was very lucky that the biggest side effects he had was the hair loss from chemo. He also was nauseous, but not a lot, other than, here and there. He dealt with it pretty well. So I don't think he really had a lot of fear around it. Um, but going into the treatment, we didn't know what to expect initially. So I think he tried to stay as positive as he could. And I think that helped him not have as negative of a side effect. because his mindset was like, it will be okay. We will get through this. These side effects are a sign that the chemo is working and it's helping me get better. So just kind of flipping the script and the perspective of the situation rather than saying, oh, I'm going to lose my hair. Oh, I'm going to be nauseous, saying, yeah, these things might happen to me. However, that means that what we're doing is working and I'm getting better in the process in the long term.
So did you join any support group? And as a caregiver, what do you think are the importance of such support groups?
I have not joined an official support group. I have really relied on my close friends, my family, my husband, for that support. However, I have heard from so many people that they have joined these support groups and they absolutely loved having the community of people who have gone through similar things. For me, a lot of my friends, unfortunately, have gone through very similar things, whether they had cancer themselves or somebody very close to them had cancer. So I was lucky in that I could rely on them to help me through the process because unfortunately they had already been through it as well.
Yes. So at zenonco.io, we help cancer patients like throughout their journey from diagnosis to forever. So what do you think about our work?
I love that. I think that it's so important for people to have that support from day one until forever, because it doesn't ever go away. Whether it's you're the caregiver and, you know, the life that you're caring for ends, or you're the survivor, which is absolutely incredible. Everyone's going to need support every step along the way. So the fact that this work is here to empower people is absolutely incredible. And I love that you guys do what you do.
Yes. So what do you think are the stigmas that are attached to cancer and the importance of awareness for it?
I think a lot of people don't know how common cancer actually is. You hear the word cancer and you automatically think death. At least most people do. I can't speak for everyone, but for people that I have spoken with about it, that's the first thing that comes to their mind. You hear cancer and you think, oh, I'm going to die. Oh, he's going to die, whoever it is, right? So changing that stigma by bringing awareness to the symptoms, to the early signs of cancers, raising awareness for early detection, especially of cancers that don't get diagnosed until later on. What are things that lead to that diagnosis, right? So speaking about it, bringing awareness to it, breaks down that stigma, and it tells people, hey, this is what these early symptoms are. Get help, go get checked. If you're concerned, your body, go tell your doctor and get these tests run, because bringing that awareness is what can save so many more people's lives.
Yes. So as a caregiver, if you have to sum up your journey in one sentence, then what would that be?
Oh, wow. That is a really good question. The journey in one sentence. I think the journey was really difficult, but the lessons along the way and the love and support that my family came with were so worth it along the way.
Yes. Yeah. So thank you so much for your time, Lina.
Sure, thank you.
Hope this session really motivates people out there who have traveled or been traveling through this journey. So it was lovely having you here today with us on this session. So once again, thank you so much.
Thank you.